It's your boy, yadiiiig, 4 eyes, 2 G's, and before we get into the video for today guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow your boy in all social medias for more. But on to today's topic, and today we're here to talk about Vic Mensa, who has been receiving quite a bit of scrutiny over the last week or so due to his remarks regarding yadiiiig in his BET freestyle, and many people have been coming out and saying that Vic has lost it, that he has fallen off and whatnot, and really, Vic has been slowly falling off for quite some time now, and this is yet another marker in his downward trajectory. So in today's video, I wanted to discuss the factors that have led to Vic falling off, and honestly there isn't really much to it, so let's get into it. It firstly begins with his music and image. Vic kind of broke through with his debut tape in 2013, and around this time he had a very friendly, bubbly image and persona that was reflected in his music. Orange Soda, visually and musically, I think represents Vic's overall artist brand at this time, and it could be likened to what Chance was doing during this period also. A young guy from Chicago whose music was energetic, uplifting, and although it had some depth, it wasn't necessarily trying to be political, overly conscious, or make you think too much. And even with his dance, hip-hop crossover, Down on My Luck, although it was different sonically, it would remain energetic, uplifting, and fun. And it was this era of Vic that the world would fall in love with. Add a Kanye West cosign into the mix, and it seemed that it was Vic's time and he was about to blow. But then, as Vic would sign to Jay-Z and begin to prep There's a Lot Going On, he basically took everything about his brand and turned it on its head. No longer was he displaying this youthful exuberance like on Orange Soda, instead he turned his image into this punk aesthetic that kinda centered around political activism, and this affected his music also, with his sound and subject matter changing significantly, with the focus on socially conscious issues and trying to push forth his own ideals. And this new direction was a far cry from the artists who made Orange Soda and Down on My Luck. And don't get what I'm saying twisted. I'm not saying that his change in image, his political messaging, or his subject matter on conscious issues is bad, because There's a Lot Going On in particular was a great project to me, but what these changes did was create a disconnect between him and his fanbase. You see, that Orange Soda-esque image and music is what got him that buzz, and why he was hyped so heavily at that time. So, as a fan, if you fell in love with that artist, then a couple years later, their whole image, branding, lyrics, subject matter, and production change, it's jarring, and not everyone is going to embrace the new direction. And to put it bluntly, a lot of people became disinterested in what the newer Vic Mensa had to offer, and this led to Vic losing a significant amount of fans. And even looking further than just his fanbase, when you look at it in terms of the masses, songs like Down on My Luck or You Mad, put simply, just had way more pop appeal than his music after. So it's not surprising that his music afterwards hasn't been able to connect in the same way. And this switch up also leads to another factor that played into him not fully exploding in the mainstream. After dropping Down on My Luck and You Mad, he was preparing to drop an album titled Traffic, and with these two singles being his biggest to date, his buzz was probably around its peak at this time. And not to mention, he was also on the 2014 XXL freshman list, which put more eyes on him. But instead of dropping Traffic, he would scrap the project and not release a project until midway through 2016. So I feel like with the hype from Down on My Luck, You Mad, and the XXL list, dropping a project around 2014 and 15 was his best window of opportunity to take off in the mainstream. But by scrapping Traffic, he would fail to capitalize on this chance, and by the time he was preparing to drop in June 2016, it was a very different climate for him. The singles weren't relevant anymore, his hype had taken a significant hit, and his buzz was starting to simmer down. So the switching up of his brand and him not being able to capitalize on his 2014 and 15 buzz were primary reasons as to why he would begin to fall off and would start to lose traction. But on top of these reasons, the next series of events I'm going to discuss really hurt his standing in the eyes of the hip-hop community and degraded his public image. Over the last couple years or so, Vic has taken multiple shots at different artists and personalities. Vic would sneak diss Travis Scott on his Heir to the Throne freestyle, he would also diss Lil Yachty during a live performance, and as if dissing Lil Yachty wasn't the most played out thing in hip hop at that time, what made it worse was that he was actually spotted in the studio with Yachty not too long before that, so everyone was confused by the diss, including Yachty himself. Then, we all remember the academic situation which had Vic looking away, and then we get to the recent yadiiiig situation, which really needs no words at this point. And aside from dissing academics, all these shots kinda came out of nowhere, and were instigated primarily by Vic. And from my perspective at least, this made it seem like Vic was growing increasingly bitter, as he was seeing these artists getting all this success while his own career was stagnating, so he was desperately trying to get attention with these shots. Regardless, however, I think the academics and yadiiiig situations severely hurt his public image and the general public's perception of him, and in each case he would lose actual fans and potential fans, especially with the yadiiiig diss, which would well and truly turn the popular opinion against him. And in terms of hype, it was already pretty quiet for Vic after his debut album failed to really take off, so this has made matters even worse, and it will be harder for Vic to bounce back and win people over. So, the case of Vic Mensa falling off really comes down to the switch up of his branding, image, and musical output, as well as him not being able to capitalize on his window in 2014 and 15 to really explode with his original sound. And on top of this, the hits his public image and perception would take after his various disses would result in him losing fans and would turn the popular opinion against him. But that's all from me today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow your boy on all social medias for more.